Hey everybody, welcome to Workforce Gaming. I am Brad, here with Doug.
Hey.
It's that weird time of year where one of us played a mobile game. I feel like we get one of these a year.
Sure.
I think we
Yeah,
did
yeah.
Florence, I think we did
World Flipper.
World Flipper, we did the Near one. So it's like once a
Yeah.
year. Once a year we got to talk about a mobile
Yeah.
game. So this year's is Final Fantasy VII First Soldier, which
Yes.
I will admit, Doug said this is kind of cool. You should try it, and I played exactly the tutorial and one match and went, nope.
I
So
played way too much of this game. It is not great, but I enjoy it a little bit.
I
It's weird.
I think that's what mobile games are supposed to be. I played it way too much and it was fine. I think that's if you had to
Yeah.
ask me to summarize the idea of a mobile game, it's fine and I played way too much is exactly what they're going for.
Yeah. It's nobody's ever like this game's amazing. Monument was pretty good, but
Florence,
besides that,
Florence is really good.
Florence is also pretty good. Yeah, this is not one of those.
Okay.
This is a grimy, money grabbing piece of crap that I very much enjoy.
Okay, so I think we can all instantly assume where the money grabbing piece of shit comes from. So let's focus on the enjoyment. So where does the enjoyment come in this? Because like I said, I played it. I did
Yeah,
like that the trigger button followed my right thumb and I could adjust that. I don't know if that's a normal mobile game thing, but that was kind of a cool feature. But anyway, that was
yeah,
my
yeah,
one takeaway.
yes.
That I was like, that was cool. So good things, not money
so,
grabbing
so
shit.
no, I think the money grabbing part shit is part of it too. Okay, so what is Final Fantasy First Soldier? Final Fantasy First Soldier, Soldier is a battle royale game set in the Final Fantasy VII universe where you play as Shinra soldiers in training and you could drop in all the fun places you've seen in Final Fantasy VII Remake. And literally just Final Fantasy VII Remake, so nothing beyond that.
Midgar.
And you can tell that they're kind of running out of stuff like pretty quickly, which is
we
kind of
need
fun.
we need Rebirth out now. We need more we
Yeah,
need more
you can,
areas for a mobile game.
and it's really funny. So I do want to kind of talk a little about the money grabbing stuff first because I think with a lot of like money grabbing stuff, usually it turns me off of stuff because it's like it's something I've liked that you've sold out. So
Yeah.
like near like the near one, it's like it sucks that you guys turn near into like dice rolls and pulling this and that sort of. But like the Final Fantasy has always been kind of like all of our merchandising, so it's kind of already been past that. And then like especially Final Fantasy VII. So like when you play this sort of like grimy of like get these cool weapons and whatever. There's something kind of like endearing about it. And I don't know why. I have no idea why I feel that way. And I think the
That's
thing
such a
that's like,
weird personal thing where it's like for me personally the fact that there are
yeah,
infinite statues, figures, shirts, merchandise, whatever for this makes it feel okay that it's in here versus
yeah, because sometimes with like let's say Fortnite needs me to like care about something before it sells out. Like Fortnite just kind of started out as this thing that like is money grubbing. That's just kind of all I see of
yeah, that's
Fortnite.
all it
But
is.
like
Yeah.
Final Fantasy, yeah, but Final Fantasy is not just that. So I do kind of care enough to maybe look at maybe not spend money on these things, but some of their cosmetic options are so funny. Like you'll get the so like for example, you get like the PS1 um, character models for like all the Final Fantasy characters are optional ones. But then the thing that's kind of funny is because you're all first soldiers, like you're all Shinra soldiers. A lot of the cosmetic options are just different Shinra soldiers. So it's like you got these really cool PS1 low poly stuff, and then just like a gamut of the most boring
I say I feel like
just Shinra soldier helmets and like masks and whatever else. And it's so and the thing that I think is funny is because they're trying so hard to stay in the universe and be like, this is canon. Like they've limited themselves so much in like these dumb things.
instead
Or
of
like
going and
for example,
being Fortnite Final Fantasy where it's just like, oh yeah, here's lightning
yeah,
and oh yeah, why not? Let's
yes,
pull in I don't know, here's Yuna, why not? Like let's go for it.
exactly. So this is like just Final Fantasy VII, just Final Fantasy VII Remake, just Shinra soldiers. And it's like
It's the narrowest of narrow.
yeah, exactly. It's funny seeing them trying to work around it within that like little box, and you can tell already like they're on season three. It's like they're already sort of running out of ideas. But it is kind of fun game that kind of quirky things. Like my character eventually is wearing Sephiroth's clothes from Final Fantasy VII Remake with a helmet of a Shinra soldier, elite warrior, with in Final Fantasy VII Remake, those boxes you hit that you got bonus points,
Yeah.
and and then that's on my back, and um, and then I play a monk who can punch people. It's dumb. It's not great, but I don't know. There's just something about it that's like clicking with me. I guess
Okay,
we should probably
so
talk about the actual
I was
gameplay.
gonna say let's get to the clicking stuff here because this is the like here's why all the money grabbing stuff is fun for me.
Yeah, otherwise I wouldn't talk. I think otherwise I wouldn't even talk about it because I think it just makes it so weird and grimy that it kind of makes it more interesting. Anyway, so it's a battle royale game. You fly in on like Shinra helicopters, and you can drop into any of your favorite locations for Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like you can drop into Era's house,
Oh really?
as like just one, yeah, or Corneo's mansion. And the thing that's really funny is that when you're in that setting, it is like geometrically like almost exactly like Final Fantasy VII Remake. But as soon as you like start leaving that area by like 100 yards, suddenly you're just kind of like somewhere else entirely. But it's
Generic
funny, like
cityscape or something?
yes, exactly. Or it's like the one that was kind of cool is that you like one of the things takes place in the Midgar like middle class areas, and that
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like one of the new maps. Um, but there's just something so funny and I'd say almost crass about dropping in on like these like drop in on Eris Church. It's like just so weird. And
This very
that's what I'm
famous, very
saying.
emotional place that people have this connection with, and yeah, here we go.
And to me that's almost like, and the game is kind of like reveling in a little bit of that humor as well. Like the fact they have PS1 costumes, but they have like PS1 costumes for like Crisis Core characters, or like PS1 costumes for characters that didn't get PS1 character models.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think it's kind of like a little bit in on the joke of what's going on
Yeah,
here. Um, the gameplay is like pretty simple. You get to choose between like 5 classes, and that modifies your melee ability, and it modifies like one of your special abilities. So, for example, I always play monk, and when I punch people, I heal, and I can drop down a shield. But they have stuff like dragoon and other stuff, really minor stuff because you're mostly shooting people. The thing that is really cool though is that in the battle royale section, you pick up materia, and it's all hotkeyed. I used to actually hooked up my PS4 controller to my iPad to play the game, and they're hotkeyed really fun. Like you hold down L1 and then press
yeah.
R2 to launch off a Blizzara, or you press L1 in this. I love hotkeyed spells, so it's really kind of fun playing this battle royale with these nice hotkeyed spells because when you run to a player, you guys are like tossing spells at each other, you're shooting each other with machine guns, and all within like eyesight of Arrow's Church. So, and the thing that's also there's also some other really fun stuff on the thing on the so in the battlefield there's monsters from Final Fantasy VII remake. So they have like a bomb that you can kill, and you get stuff for killing them. You get like weapons or whatever. Um, but they're running some sort of, I guess, anniversary event. So some of the enemies on the field are like PS1 versions of them. So you're in Final Fantasy VII remake world shooting
Yeah.
PS1 character models. They
Hmm.
even have like a mini boss that's on the map that comes in every once in a while. That's the Scorpion boss from remake.
Oh
That's
yeah, yeah.
sorry, no, it's a Scorpion boss from the PS1 game. And just getting killed, like I got killed by the Scorpion boss in like a realistic Midgar is like really kind of fun. There's this other one where it was something like there's an imbalance in the time something. I was like, oh, okay, I never saw what that is. Let's go see what that is.
Fantastic.
And then I go over to that area, and then a Shinra soldier spawns with a very familiar blade. And then the character immediately does cross slash. You're like, oh my god, I'm fighting Cloud when he was a Shinra soldier. It's like, and
I
then
really,
there's it's
I
and
really
so
thought
it's
that you were
like
gonna leave that without this. Like, it was a specific blade, and he did cross
no,
slash, and you were like, hmm. I was like, I'm
no,
gonna give this
yeah.
all away, but not say what. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, no, yeah. But it's just so explicit with all the stupid shit that's like really. It's so there's just some sort of like quirkiness to it all, and also like there's a Bahamut that flies around and just randomly drops mega flares that just instantly kill anybody and give you like a 5 second warning. I was like running around, I was like, oh, what's this cool light around me? And it's like Bahamut uses mega flare because there's just a Bahamut
Yeah.
flying around, and I just instantly died. I was like, well, that was shit, but it was kind of fun getting killed by Bahamut's mega flare. So it's just this. It's just a fun, goofy thing that I think mixes just this sort of like cash grabbiness with the Final Fantasy IP that's just kind of also fun. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of reveling in it a bit, and you're kind of in the everybody's kind of in on the joke. Um, so no, it's just such a weird experience. That's why like I just enjoyed playing it.
Yeah.
Just seeing that, and honestly, just seeing them struggle, just trying to stick within Final Fantasy VII Remake is so funny because like just like I was saying, everything just needs to be canon. But they're
Of
also
course.
like it's also ridiculous. Like they have Chocobo raising as well, or like a whole Chocobo raising system. It's just kind of fun playing with that system in the Final Fantasy VII Remake universe because we haven't touched that yet in the
Yeah.
main games.
No joke
So
about it.
doing like a little bit of Chocobo, it's like, oh, it's kind of neat doing that. And then they have a cool opening cinematic where they're kind of explaining what's going on with these Shinra soldiers, and it's like, ah, you know, it's just pinging those like that little Final
Just
Fantasy VII nostalgia
just
button,
enough.
but like over and over and over and over and over again.
It's well, I think it was kind of advertised as
Yeah.
like the celebration of Final Fantasy VII, and that's kind of what I mean. It's like here's your
Yes.
PS1 models, here's
Yeah.
characters remodeled in the PS1, here's this weird stuff that we all know you love from Final Fantasy VII that maybe you haven't seen. So I think it kind of is what you're saying is it's kind of succeeding on that mission of being a
Yes.
celebration of Final Fantasy VII because that's what's drawing you in is just what weird Final Fantasy VII crap are you going to pull out next? And that's
Yeah.
I think when you do something like this, that's kind of what you're aiming for, and that's where the okay, well, we can we can also give you this, but you're gonna have to pay us for it. And then yeah, you enjoy your free stuff, and isn't this fun? But we know you like that one.
Yeah.
There's that one.
It actually feels a little bit like a theme park with that
Yeah.
because when you go to Disney World, like there's a bazillion shops and they expect you to pay money, but isn't it fun to be here? It's like yes.
I don't think it's free to walk into Disney World
No,
though.
that's fair. That's fair. But like they have Red 13 as like a backpack your character can wear, and I was like, I want to see if I can try and figure out if I can get that or not.
Exactly. So
But yeah,
just enough
it's
to just
cool.
enough to hook you. Just enough to hook you.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
again, that's the mobile game.
Mhm.
Anyway, we are Workforce Gaming. You can follow us on Twitter at Workforce Gaming, subscribe to us wherever you're listening, and we will see you later.
Bye.